So these I have opened two test applications, I will say. Okay, so what I have done is here, right? Let me start from the scratch. Actually, it's better to do it like this. So okay, so I will just log in. My first application, like test integrated application, test SSO app dot test dot in, right? So you could see, right, when I'm integrating this test application, it is actually taking the login form from the identity provider. Okay, so let me show you the second one, SSO app dot test dot in. Okay, now the second application is also taking me to the login form of the IDP. Okay, so I need to put my credentials over here so that the exchange code functions and it will hand over the secure cookies to the app, and it will have a centralized control from the IDP. Okay, so let's see how it works. So now you just take one more look here. I opened that browser. I'm having two tabs, but I'm going to use the same tokens. I'm sorry, I'm going to use the same user accounts for both these two different applications integrated to the common IDP. See it actually how it actually segregates and keep it isolated from each other. Though the things are very common, right? The common credentials, right? For example, you see, right? You open Gmail and you have ChatGPT or something, right? That account will if you open ChatGPT on the nearest tab and if you try to hit, right, you just need to log in from that particular email ID of Gmail. It takes you without even asking the username and password, right? So that is the key. That is how that is designed. But here, if you could see, if this is one application and this is another application, though I am having the same credentials from the common identity provider, it still treats it as an isolated applications to each other. It doesn't use the login or the cookie over here for the second application, and it will not treat in the same session. It treats totally different. Okay, that is the main parameter is the client ID. I'll show you how it actually works. So let's go to the demonstration. Now I'll put my credentials over here. Okay, so this is this is one application, I can say, the one in gray or blue, right? The front end is Angular, the back end is in Node.js. Okay, the IDP that I have, it is actually built on HTML, Java, CSS, and Python. As simple as such. That is what the IDP's framework. And moreover, one more important thing I forgot to tell you in the first video. So this is not something like the integration is only for framework to a framework, like mean stack to mean stack. It's not like that. So you can integrate any framework over here. So it can be combination of Angular, Node.js, or HTML, Java, CSS, Node.js, or Next.js, React, Node.js, or Next.js, React, Python, or HTML, Java, CSS, ASP.NET Core, any combinations that you can do. Any framework can get integrated to this common IDP over here. Okay, so let me go on and continue. Now you see that as soon as I get authenticated because of this exchange code, right, that IDP form, it just got redirected to the original application with the secure cookie get transferred to this browser session, and I'm logged in. Okay, and I'm having two APIs for demo purpose, right? So actually I'm unable to click this button because I have not given the user role assigned. So the commonest user, so it will have access only to this, not over here. So let me log in over here. So same thing here. So this is there and this is deactivated. So like this, right, it has got authenticated here. This I need to change the role. If I do that, then it will work. So let me do that first to avoid this confusion. So I'll go back here to this user account, and I will put admin role. So if this will get updated, and if let me go back here and do a quick refresh on both. Yes, the role has got updated to admin. Now I'm having get hello, and there is a backend API text which is coming for testing. So the API is also secured. So I'm having um, like hello Jagan also. So these two buttons, right? They act from the backend APIs. Okay, so you have this just for the informational purpose, that in which role actually for demo purpose. Let's go to the another account with a different color. So hello, and still okay. I need to do a refresh. So okay, click hello, and I got this button enabled. Now I'm getting hello Jagan. So admin is here as well. And one important thing I told you, as I mentioned earlier, right? These two applications, they are different, connected to the common IDP with same credentials. But if I do a logout in one app, it will not impact another app. Just see this. If I do a refresh, it doesn't log out. Okay. Now I log in back here. I'll go here on the blue. I'll do a logout. Get back to orange and do a refresh. It still works. Now just let me keep it both. Hope you noticed it, right? You can assume that HR, one app has HR, another one has ticket. You're using the same credentials, but if you do a one logout on another application doesn't get affected because of that. That is how an IDP should be. Okay, so that particular part, and that is one important thing. Now let's go a bit more. I'll show you a lot of things about the a few more things on the role-based access control. So let me roll back this to a user. The default raw are back here. So what happen if I assign user get Jagan button will get deactivated in both the applications. Let's do a refresh. So get Jagan got deactivated and hello is there, and here also let me do a refresh. I get a new cookie. So there here also get Jagan button is getting deactivated over here. So I'll be able to click only one button. Now let me change the role for I have one more role. Let me change it. I have one more role called as Adam. So let me put that role here, assign it, and let me go back here and do a refresh. So that particular role called as an Adam is going to enable only get Jagan. And let me do a refresh over here. So what happens is that get Jagan is just going to enable only the second button and not the first one. In both the apps, first one gets disabled. That's the role. That is how I have modified this application based on the role that it receives from the IDP. Okay. So if I can, if you want, I can assign all the three roles just like that. In any company they do that. So Adam comma user comma admin, I can give everything so everything gets activated in the same time. So what I will do is I will do a refresh, so everything gets activated here, you see, and you see all the roles are here. Okay, and similarly do a refresh on another application as well, and you'll be able to see all the three got updated and all the buttons are enabled in both the application. Okay, so I spoke about the logout and all the here, right, even the I think the APIs, right, they're actually they have got secured, I will say. So I will do a demonstration on that, just trying to trigger this hello from here. So let me do a logout and see if the backend API has got secured. So what I will do is, okay, I'll take this application as so app.jagantest.in. I will do a logout over here and just go back and see the first tab. It should not get logged out. Okay, it's over here. So what I will do, I will do a test of this application. HTTPS like no need. So SSO app dot jagantest.in. I have a known API at the backend, which is API forward slash hello. Okay, sorry, it's hello. So let me try what it says. Can you see this error message over here? Actually, this API hello is actually connected over to this button, right? It's coming, but I am in this application, right, which I actually logged out. That URL is having this API at the backend called the JSON response. It says authentication required. Okay, so let me take this and try it out. Do a logout over here on the first one, and let me see what that do. So it just a one small difference over here in the first application. It is just I just need to put test. Okay, so let me give a try. Still the same. It says authentication required, right? And see this particular API endpoint, right? So it has got it secured. So this is how a good application should work. A secure application should work. Okay, so this is about the integrated IP demonstration to this to these applications and its security aspects. Okay, so what I will do is I will need to demonstrate about the concept of private CA. Okay, so I will demonstrate that. Actually, before getting into it, I want to show you this also, right? So I am authenticated here, right? I added a few more things like called as the API hello, right? This application, the backend API. As soon as I hit enter, I am getting this message API hello. What if I do a logout here and just go ahead and give a try over here? Yeah, see, it says authentication required. Let's test the another application as well. So the another application is doesn't have this test keyword, and I think that is already logged out, right? So yeah, so let me log in here and see what happens, and just try to hit the API and see. Okay, now it is logged in. So if I do a refresh, this should say hello. Yeah, it says hello because I just logged in over here. Now if I do a logout and refresh this, authentication required. So if you see that, right, the API is also secured. The front end is secured, API also secured using this IDP, right? So I can say we are actually into a full zero trust. But as I mentioned earlier, right, I didn't show you about the MFA, the multi-factor authentication, right? So here for MFA, I have used the concept of private CA. I will demonstrate it in the next video, the concept of private CA and its usage as MFA and how it has got integrated into this application. Okay, so thank you for watching.